The elephant's foot plant is DIOSCOREA elephantipes. We look at how to repot this plant, fertilise it, water it, and indeed general care. It's from South Africa, and over time it forms a large caudex. This is a seedling, and this is the mature plant that we'll be transplanting. James Lucas from Succulents Australia shows us how to repot this mature elephant's foot plant and then discusses general care.
It's a bit late in the year for it, but it is better late than never. We will cut off some of the last year's shoots on here. This plant has been in this pot now for really quite a few years, and it will really benefit from a bit of fresh soil and fertilizer.
So this plant's, what, 20 years old?
Oh, could be more. Could even be 25. I bought it probably about 10 years ago. It was already pretty big then. It hasn't grown a lot since, actually. So it's been sitting in here. It really has needed a pot on for a long time.
So today's the day.
Yeah. So we'll get started on it. We'll now cut it off. I want to keep a bit of the green on here. This is a climate, as you can see. And if you've got a high roof glass house, it will climb right up. You know, to go 20 feet high. But in nature, they just grow in scrub. I've seen photos of scrub and it'll grow, and these things will scramble over shrubs nearby. Often they'll sit out by themselves in the bush, and they scramble up, go up all different size shrubs, small trees, things like that.
So by repotting this, we're also going to lift up the elephant's foot, if you like, and that'll become more visible, and that is a feature of the
I'll
plant.
show you what it looks like underneath. It's sort of a little bit hollow underneath with a ring of roots around them. They're quite interesting how they grow. I don't think the roots survive over summer, actually, a lot. They seem to grow a new set every year.
James, so this is the pot we're going to put the plant into.
It's a big fella, and it should be around to grow for a few more years. First off, we're going to put in a little bit of clocking. And less of soil. To the soil, we're going to add a bit of perlite. That is going to give you a bit more, make it soil lighter and drain well. Drainage is the critical factor for a lot of these plants around deserts. So we'll start off there. Just a little bit of the bottom. We'll do a couple of buckets of this, and then we're going to mix in perlite.
So the perlite is in there to lighten up the soil and
increase drainage and add porosity. You know, all these plants really like a little bit of air around their roots, and the perlite does that very well. So we put in about 5 scoops there. I reckon that might be nearly enough. Let's have to stir it up and see what it looks like. For me, looking at the soil is often enough. You sort of know when there's enough in it. Perlite very light, it goes around the edges. Give it a good mix up. Firstly, I think I'm going to add a little bit more, John. It's not a enough ratio yet. The ratio is getting up to, that'd be getting up to like 20%, I reckon.
so the idea with this is so that the plant can live in here for a number of years without being disturbed.
Yep, the elephant's foot actually just sits on top of the ground. You don't want to bury the elephant's foot. Okay, let's start lifting this baby out.
So that can all be cleaned off and that soil loosened up.
Yeah. And you'll see how he's hollow underneath. See, they sound hollow. Can you hear that?
Yep.
All right, now you've got to be careful handling them too, because these can break, so you've got to get a good firm grip on them. Now, in here, you can see it's virtually hollow. And the roots all come out around its outer rim. Now, I'm not going to take too many roots off it. I do want to thin that out a bit in here. There's me.
Okay.
Only little fibrous roots.
Yep.
And you're going to find half of these dead. He's alive, look at that. Oh, no, maybe not. No, he's dead one. Quite a few of these will be dead. Tease them out a bit. Yeah, new one there. I think we might be lifting him up a little bit.
Needs to sit a bit higher in the pot.
Yeah. We're going to tuck this edge in here a bit. Get the soil underneath.
And by lifting it up, it's just more of a feature of the caudex.
Yeah, this is all about showing the caudex off. And we will centre him roughly.
I think that's go a bit higher.
Yeah, can go higher too. I'm going to get a bit more soil, and I will add a bit more perlite in here. Mix it in. Yeah, people are really proud of these. When they've got a really old one, that's about 25, 30 years old and it's big, they love it. They're quite a talking point because they are quite a unique plant.
And caudex plants are becoming fairly popular too with collectors.
They are.
And you can get lots of different types. You can get begonias with caudex.
Yep. Just silly up right here.
This needs to come up on this side a bit more.
Now, that's mixed up well. Yeah, get in there. Longish. The root line there. Very neat centre. Not too bad, is it?
It's looking pretty good.
A bit more soil.
And with fertilizer?
Now, not much point putting it underneath the valuable filter down. It's a big pot. I'm actually just going to mix it into the soil around the edge here. And as you see, all the main feeder roots are on the outer edge of this. It's virtually hollow on the inside.
And the fertilizer that you're using?
I'm just using a bit of dolomite and osmocote. That'll help keep it. Dolomite I like because it's got a lot of elements and minerals in it. And osmocote, that'll keep it going for a good 5 or 6 months through the growing season.
So with these plants, you'd fertilise them in spring?
Oh, really in winter. These things start to grow in winter. As you can see, it's now late-ish winter. This probably started growing about 2 months ago. So we really missed the golden opportunity 2 months ago, but it's not going to do it now.
And growing conditions for these, you'd keep them out of the rain in a wet climate?
In a really wet climate, yeah. They die off later in summer, and they start growing again in winter. It's a winter rainfall, autumn and winter rainfall that they collect in Africa. This doesn't have a lot of osmocote in here. Pretty generous amount of food here. I'm looking for some growth. See if we can get this caudex growing a little bit bigger. And I'm turning in the fertilizer a little bit. And you want to leave it just a bit below the surface. Look, in another month or two, this will settle down a bit. You might want to lift it up a little bit or just top it up a little bit because it will firm up and settle down.
And after this, water it in?
Good water. They're growing. As soon as you see these shoots, these green shoots start earlier in the year, that's when you give it good water.
Okay, and all of the dead shoots, of course, could be
Trimmed off.
it could be cut away.
Actually, it's a good idea to keep some because it actually helps to support the new green ones. If you keep a couple of tall straight ones, but I will be trimming this up, yes.
So if you were growing this at home and you wanted it to grow up into the air, you've got to give them something to cling onto.
I have done before, you do like a triangle of 2 metre stakes, tie them at the top, and these things will grow and grip right through and grow up 2 metres quite easily.
Or you can let them trail along as they would naturally do.
Yeah. So during the summer months, you want to shelter it from the rain a little bit. Once it starts fruity or seedy. One interesting point about these, they are boy and girl plants.
Okay.
And now this one, if I remember correctly, this one is a really weird one because it actually has both sexes on one plant.
Okay.
This is very unusual because it does have boy flowers and it does set fruit. This is very unusual. That's why I've kept this one. Normally speaking, you'll have a boy plant or a girl plant. Some have seed, others do the pollination.
Okay.
So yeah, one interesting thing about DIOSCOREA is so older plants, older world plants are sometimes male and female plants like ginkgos, conifers, and gymnosperms and all that type of stuff. They're all sort of that type of thing.
All right. We'll come back and have a look at this in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep, just 3 or 4 weeks, and I reckon you'll see some new shoots. These will continue growing, and it might be up there.
But it might have shifted locations too during that period of time.
It might have a new home.
It might have a new home.
Yeah.
We'll have a look at it anyway.
For more information on a range of succulents and other garden plants, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as always, good luck with your gardening.